Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashemi. We've got a whole lot of stories this evening that we'll be looking at in the Nigerian sporting world, and we'll also look at some stories in Europe. We know that the FIFA window is over, the FIFA break is over, and players are back to their respective clubs in Europe and even in Nigeria. So we're going to be having weekend fixtures in all of the top 5 leagues in Europe, including Nigeria. That is the Nigerian Premier Football League. We also have fixtures for this weekend, but you'll be getting them on the weekend sports show. That is for the Nigerian Premier Football League fixtures and the full fixtures of the top 5 leagues in Europe. But we have some games that will be coming up today, and we'll be looking at those fixtures. But before we look at all of this, we need to talk about Nigerian story. Let's start with this one. Paralympics, that is 2024 Paralympics gold medalist for Lashade Oluwafemi targets gold in 2028. That is Paralympics 2028 in Los Angeles. I think this is a good one for an athlete who know what it is, coming back from a particular event, just resting for a while and going back to training immediately, because they still have to qualify through the qualification series, and he's also targeting gold in Paralympics 2028. I have Isaac Omediji joining me this evening to look at this story and more on Sports Update. Isaac, welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV. Big one for Oluwafemi Ayo.
Thank you very much, man.
At the just concluded 2024 Paralympic Games in Paris, and as it stands, she's already eyeing gold in 2028 Los Angeles Paralympic Games.
That should be the spirit, Emmanuel. For Folashade, she came to the just concluded Paralympics game in Paris, France. She got the gold medal. She know what she did. She know the work she has put in. She know what her coaches and the federation have done for her, have gotten this far. And for her to be looking forward to the next one, I'm looking forward to another goal, shows focus. So let her now put this focus into practice, make it practical. Let the coaches also make it practical. Let the federation make it practical. I can bet you that the next set of gold medalists that we'll be seeing in the next Olympics are already training. They're already practicing. They have finished resting. They've started already. So our own too must learn that it's not went in 6 months to the Olympics. That's when another 12 billion naira will be released. I'll be screaming 12 billion naira. I will come back with nothing. Thank God the Paralympics even did something very well. What the able athletes couldn't do, they did it. Congratulations to them.
Okay. Now, during that interview, she said she's going to have a month rest from the event. She's going to rest for a month, and immediately after a month, she's hitting back the gym, where she will start preparing for the Paralympics 2028. But before then, she says she's going to go through the qualification series, and she and her coach will be doing all of this program together. What do you make of Folashade Oluwafemi Ayo?
Folashade needs to rest. That's just a fact. And thank God she has allocated 1 month for herself. Very important. Then you hit the gym. Because the good thing is the qualifying series will be coming in. They will not wait for you. But thank God she already know when the qualifying series will be coming in. She already planned and rest. I'm very happy that she already have a calendar set up for herself. So she just needs to follow them religiously, and it's going to work out well for her. I hope she will get the necessary support she needs to get from the federation and from the ministry. It shouldn't just be personal efforts alone. What would the ministry and the federation also do?
Okay, definitely she knows what she wants already. She has set out her own programs for herself, and the ministry should support her and see how she can get the best of preparation for the Paralympic Games in 2028. Let's leave that story and talk volleyball on the show this evening. Yes, the volleyball league just ended, and commendation is still coming in from that and go from that federation. And kudos to the Nigerian Volleyball Federation, NFF, and that is for doing a good job and making sure that this sport is something to cheer in the country. And one man is talking, that's the president of the Nigerian Volleyball Federation, Engineer Musa Nimrod, applauds Controller General of Customs on league sponsorship. That is Bashir Adeniyi, who is the Controller General of Customs, and he actually gave all the support sponsoring the league. That is the 2024 league, where players have been discovered, where we've seen new clubs, and we also have our own Abuja team in the league, a team that was just formed 3 years ago, and they are playing in the early division of the Nigerian volleyball team. But Engineer Musa Nimrod is applauding the Controller General of Customs for sponsoring the league, the 2024 league.
Yes, without the sponsors, the league will not be lucrative, will not be encouraging, will not be one that every club or player will want to participate in. So for the Controller General, to have seen this as a CSR, which I think it is a good one. And I pray and I hope they sustain it so that it will continue. And let's see others, especially for the private sector, coming in to sponsor the league. See, it's not all about football. There are other sports that Nigerians find pleasure in. There are other sports that are also marketable. Even the football, how many sponsors are we getting for football these days? So let us channel the efforts we have put into football to that sport so that we can see the best from Nigerians. There are a lot of great volleyballers, even in Niger State here, who are doing a lot. There are a lot of volleyball clubs in Niger State here. When I go and watch their training, I was like, wow, what these people need is exposure. This exposure will not come with a sponsor. So kudos to the CG of Customs. I hope he will sustain the momentum, and I hope others will come in. The more the merrier.
Okay, kudos to the Engineer Musa Nimrod and the CG of Customs, that is Mr. Bashir Adeniyi, for at least sponsoring the league this time around, and there should be a continuation, and not just from the CG alone. We should have other Nigerians to come in, private individual, private body, private organizations, come in and sponsor our sports. And it's an advice that the government should also bring out a policy that will allow these guys to sponsor. At least if you are opening a company, it's just in my own point. If you are opening a company in the country, at least you have to pick one of these federation, one sport that you'll be sponsoring. If we can have that in our constitution, then our sports will do better. All right, let's leave volleyball and talk the president FA Cup. Yes, the NFF letters were sent, and at the end of it all, it is now that NFF puts registration, that is the FA Cup registration, at 200,000, 150,000 respectively. That's 200,000 registration fee and 150. And the registration is going to commence on the 2nd of October and end 1st November 2024. And if you are going to be registering late, then you will add 50,000 to that amount. Just 150. Know that you'll be adding 50,000 to 200 and 50,000 to 150 for late registration. That's for the men and the women's categories. Isaac, 200,000 for registration and 150. Is it too much or too small?
I don't think it's too much for a Federation Cup, the oldest competition that doesn't have a sponsor. I don't think it's too much. My worry is, at the end of the day, when you look at the number of club sides that will be participating in that particular competition, the number of months that will be generated, will it be eventually utilized effectively? And even if you look at it, with the number of clubs that will register, the money generated, will it be enough to even run that particular competition? So that is where I'm having some, mixed reaction. 200,000, 150, not too much. And when you say women club side, 150, men club side, 200, the discrimination will also affect even the pay. They take on pay at the end of the day. The champions of the male team will have a different amount of money from that of the women team. So that's just the calculation here. For those who have been campaigning for equal pay, equal this, equal that in football, right from the registration that it's not even equal. So I hope it will be judiciously used, and I hope that a lot of clubs will be able to register. And I hope, there are clubs that have good players that want to showcase these players, but unfortunately, this amount might even be beyond them. 200,000 is not a joke for some clubs if you know how they operate. because they feed from hand to mouth. But it's not too much as far as Nigeria contest is concerned.
Okay, it's not too much, but in my own opinion, I think it would have been more than that. Maybe 300,000 for the guys, 300,000 for the guys, 200 for the women. But that is what it is for the NFF. The registration will start from October and end in November, 2nd October to 1st of November. That 1 month registration, and if you come late registration is 250 for men and 200 for the women. So additional of 50,000 to the initial registration fee. The oldest competition in Nigeria. Let's see how it goes. Academy Warriors are the defending champions, and Rivers Angels are the defending champions for the women, and Academy for the men, after beating Abia Warriors and Rivers Angels beating Nigerianews of Abuja in the finals of the last edition. All right, let's go to the continent and talk continental engagement. Yes, we know that Enugu Rangers will be in action. Yes, a big one, big game for the CAF Confederation, the CAF Champions League. Rangers will approach Saragada Esperanca of Angola clash as a cup final. That is coming in from Fidelis Ilechukwu, the coach of the Flying Antelopes. How well can they fly against this team, Rangers that is Sagrada Esperanca of Angola?
Well, as a coach, you need to speak. I am optimistic, but they need to prepare towards that as well. I'm not yet convinced about Rangers' participation, the quality of the participation in games they've played so far. I'm not yet convinced. The players they have, the new players they've brought in, I think they've not yet gelled well into a team. But for a Nigerian team, they shouldn't be able to be, confused or having it a difficulty in beating an Angolan side. Yes, this is a club side, not national team, but Rangers should be able to at least get something out of this positively. Sagranda, we don't know much about them. I don't know much about their pedigree, but I know they've not done so well to be rated as one of the top clubs on the continent of Africa. But for them to have gotten to this stage of the competition, they have equal opportunity, equal rights as Rangers International. So Rangers must get their hearts together. They must be able to get the right results the right time. It's very crucial on the continent of Africa. When you go away, get the right results. When you play at home, score as much goals as you can.
Okay, as we speak, Isaac, that game is almost done and dusted. So far, so good. Let's see what at the end of the 90 minutes for Enugu Rangers. The coach said it will be they were going to approach this game as a final, and definitely they've approached it as a final, and well, it is what it is. That is coming from the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium. This particular game, Rangers against Sargada Esperanca of Angola. It is the first leg of this particular game. Let's see what will happen when they visit Angola in the reverse fixture of this particular competition. So for Rangers, well, they still have another chance to at least to get something good in the CAF Champions League. They are the only team left on the continent of Africa from Nigeria. So the likes, okay, we still have Enyiba in the CAF Confederations Cup. So the two of them are just left. Academy Warriors and Remo Stars are already out. For Enugu Rangers, they are the champions of the Nigerian Premier Football League. Like I said, they still have another chance when they visit Sagrada Esperanca in Angola. All right, let's leave that story quickly and look at some fixture this tonight in the top 5 European League. But we just have, I think, 3 games in La Liga, in Ligue 1, and the German Bundesliga. We have the fixture on the screen. Yes, in La Liga we have Real Betis against Leganes. That is in La Liga. For the German Bundesliga, we have Borussia Dortmund against Heidenheim. And then the last one is in French Ligue 1. Saint-Etienne will tackle Luxembourg. That is in Ligue 1. Isaac, good one. Those games will be coming up tonight in La Liga, in German Bundesliga, and French Ligue 1.
Yes, action returns to top European club sides in Europe after the international break. So it's good to see action back. You can't compare weekends with international football. You can't just compare it. The excitement, the rivalry, stakes, everything that is at stake for all these club sides. So it starts this night, few hours from now. I'm very happy that it's going to be a night that we'll enjoy.
Okay, all right. Let's quickly take some transfers on the show before we go because we are out of time. Inter Milan shows interest in Aston Villa. That is midfielder Jacob Ramsey. Jacob Ramsey is a fantastic player. I say quickly just one or two about Jacob Ramsey, where Inter Milan is showing interest in him.
Yes, a good one, a young lad that is very good. I'm just worried. Can his game suit the Italian football? That's my worry about him. He's a very good player. But look at the way Inter Milan plays. Can he fit into that pattern? Well, okay. Let's see if that deal will materialize.
Okay, can he fit into that team in Serie A? Let's see if that definitely will happen. We know that the transfers in England has closed, and then in Serie A also. But January is there, so some of these players that have been touted now, that have been looked at now, we'll be moving. We're going to see a lot of movement in January. Still, let's come back to England. That is the English Premier League. Arsenal, Newcastle ready to offer Bayern Munich winger Leroy signing a deal. This guy plays for Man City before he went back to his country to join the champions Bayern Munich. And now Arsenal, Newcastle United are looking for a way to bring him back to England. Bayern Munich already has a new coach, that is Vincent Kompany.
Yes, and I think some players are not going to feature on his plan. But for Arsenal, I'm actually looking at who would they be bringing Sane to come and replace Bukayo Saka, Trossard, Martinelli. It will be a problem to bring in a big player with ego like Sane and not giving him full-time football. So I think Newcastle will be a sure bet for me.
Okay, Newcastle will be a sure bet, but maybe Arsenal might just be looking at his word of experience as a champion. He has won it all. And then they want a champion on their side who can give them that motivation. All right, let's look at this last one. Manchester United confident of signing Xavi Simons, who is on loan. Xavi Simons, that is PSG winger Xavi Simons. Man U has been chasing this guy, and maybe they might just be lucky to sign him in January.
Not still the solution to the problem of Manchester United. This is still another misplaced priority, misplaced proposed signing. Get a striker who can bank in goals week in, week out. Xavi Simons can't do that.
Okay, get a strikers who can bank in goal week in, week out. They are just looking for an alternative to Joshua Zirkzee. Eventually, if that deal, because he's on loan to Manchester United, but if Bologna fail to sell, they might just switch their attention to Xavi Simons. All right, for Enugu Rangers, the Flying Antelopes, they should go to Angola and fly and come back home smiling. All right, that is where we'll be leaving it on Sports Update this evening. Isaac, thanks for joining on the show. It's a wonderful one having you on Sports Update.
It's a pleasure, Emmanuel. Thank you.
All right, that is it on the program. Thanks for watching.